That night in the car ride home from Taylor Swift's Eras tour, Travis Kelce was buzzing with excitement about meeting his favorite director. Greta was amazing, he kept saying. But when Taylor showed him her phone screen, displaying videos of him dancing all night with Greta, his face went pale. Travis, Taylor said slowly, trying not to laugh. That's not Greta Gerwig. What happened next would become the most embarrassing and hilarious story in their relationship. And the moment Travis learned he might have face blindness, the night had started perfectly. Taylor Swift's Eras tour stop was packed with A-list celebrities, and Travis Kelce had been looking forward to this particular show for weeks. Not just because he got to watch his girlfriend perform for 80,000 screaming fans, but because Taylor had mentioned that some of his favorite people would be in the VIP tent that night. "Babe, guess who's coming tonight?" Taylor had said during their pre-show FaceTime call, while Travis was still in his Kansas City hotel room, getting ready to fly out. "Surprise me," Travis replied, struggling with his tie. "Greta Gerwig." Travis stopped mid-tie. "Wait, the Greta Gerwig. Barbie Greta Gerwig." Taylor laughed at his excitement. "Yes, Travis. That Greta Gerwig. I know how much you love that movie." And Travis had loved it. He'd seen Barbie 3 times in theaters, dragged Jason to see it, analyzed the deeper meanings with his mom, and genuinely considered Greta Gerwig to be one of the most brilliant directors of their generation. The fact that she was coming to Taylor's show felt like fate. "Can I tell her how much I loved it?" Travis asked, suddenly nervous in a way he never was on a football field. "Of course, she's the sweetest. You're going to love her." Fast forward 6 hours. The show was in full swing, and the VIP tent was absolutely packed with celebrities. Travis walked in after watching the first few songs from the family suite and was immediately overwhelmed. Tom Cruise was there dancing like nobody was watching. Liam Hemsworth and his fiancée Gabrielle were laughing with Ashton Kutcher and Monty's. Hugh Grant was in the corner looking exactly like Hugh Grant always looks, charming and slightly abused by the chaos around him. And there, Travis spotted her. A woman with shortish hair, elegant features, dancing with genuine joy to shake it off. That has to be Greta, Travis thought. She had that artistic, sophisticated energy he'd expect from a brilliant director. Travis's Cleveland Heights friends were already several shots deep, and the energy in the tent was electric. Everyone was dancing, singing, and having the time of their lives. Travis made a mental note to introduce himself to Greta later when the moment was right. He didn't want to interrupt her enjoying the show. But here's where everything started to go sideways and Travis had no idea. About 30 minutes into the show, Travis found himself near the woman he thought was Greta. She was standing with Hugh Grant, and they seemed to be having a great conversation. Perfect, Travis thought. Maybe Hugh's working on a movie with her. Travis, emboldened by the infectious energy of the night, and maybe one too many celebratory drinks, decided this was his moment. He walked up with his biggest, most confident smile. "Excuse me. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I just have to say I absolutely loved Barbie. Like genuinely one of the best films I've seen in years." The woman turned to him with a warm, slightly surprised smile. She glanced to Hugh Grant, who had a curious expression on his face. "The way you directed it," Travis continued, now fully committed to his compliment. "The layers, the commentary, the humor, it was perfection. And I'm not just saying that. I'm Travis, by the way." He extended his hand. The woman shook his hand graciously. "Thank you so much," she said politely with a hint of a British accent. "That's very kind of you to say." Hugh Grant was looking at Travis with what could only be described as barely contained amusement. "And I mean," Travis said, pointing at Taylor on stage. "I'm just kid, too, you know." He laughed at his own joke, pointing to himself and then gesturing toward Taylor performing in the distance. The woman smiled politely, but didn't say much else. Hugh Grant coughed slightly, clearly trying not to laugh. Travis, interpreting the brief response as her being modest or maybe tired of hearing compliments, decided not to push it further. "Well, I just wanted to say that. Enjoy the show." He gave a friendly wave and backed away, feeling pretty good about the interaction. For the rest of the night, Travis noticed that the woman he complimented and Hugh Grant seemed incredibly close. They danced together constantly, had what appeared to be inside jokes, and honestly looked like soulmates. "Huh," Travis thought to himself. "I guess they're really close friends. Maybe they're working on a project together." The show was incredible as always. Taylor performed her heart out. The crowd went absolutely wild, and by the end of the night, Travis's voice was from singing along and his feet hurt from jumping around in the tent. After the show, Travis met Taylor backstage for their usual post-con debrief. She was still buzzing with adrenaline, makeup slightly smudged, wearing one of his Chiefs hoodies over her performance outfit. "How was it?" she asked, pulling him into a hug. "Did you have fun in the tent?" "It was insane," Travis said, pulling back to look at her. "Like, genuinely one of the most fun nights ever. Everyone was going crazy." They headed to the car where they could finally have some privacy and decompress from the chaos of the night. Once they were settled in the back seat, Taylor curled up against Travis's shoulder. "So, did you meet everyone you wanted to meet?" "Oh man, yes," Travis said, launching into the story. "Tom Cruise is exactly as wild as you'd expect. Like, that man was jumping, dancing, just living his best life. Liam and Gabrielle are super cool. Ashton and Mila were hilarious. And Greta?" Taylor asked. "Did you get to talk to her?" Travis's face lit up. "Yes. Well, sort of. I told her how much I love Barbie." "That's great. What did she say?" "She was really nice about it." Travis said, kind of quiet, "But I think she was just being modest. Or maybe she's heard that compliment a million times, you know." Taylor nodded. "What did you say to her?" "I told her I loved the movie, that it was brilliant, and then I made that joke, you know, that I'm just two-thing pointing at you." Taylor giggled. "That's actually really cute. I bet she loved that." "I don't know," Travis said, frowning slightly. She smiled, but she didn't really say much. She was polite, but it was kind of a weird vibe. Like maybe I interrupted something. "Interrupted what?" "Well, she was with Hugh Grant basically all night. Like they were super close, dancing together constantly. Tons of inside jokes. I'm pretty sure they're either working on a movie together or they're like best friends or something." Taylor pulled back slightly to look at Travis. "Wait, Greta and Hugh Grant were together all night?" "Yeah, it was actually really sweet," Travis said. "Like you could tell they have this really deep connection. They're clearly soulmates in some way. You know, creative soulmates, maybe." Something in Taylor's expression changed. She was trying very hard not to laugh, and Travis could see it. "What?" he asked. "Why are you looking at me like that, Travis?" Taylor said slowly, pulling out her phone. "Honey, I need to show you something." She started scrolling through social media, and within seconds, she found what she was looking for. Videos and photos from the VIP tent were already circulating online. She found one particular video, a clip of Travis dancing next to a woman, both of them clearly having a blast. "Is this you dancing with Greta?" Taylor asked, showing him the screen. Travis looked at the video and grinned. "Yeah, see, we were all having such a good time." Taylor bit her lip, clearly trying to figure out how to say what she needed to say. "Travis, baby, I need to ask you something, and I need you to really think about the answer." "Okay," Travis said, suddenly nervous about her tone. "What does Greta Gerwig look like?" Travis blinked. "What do you mean? Describe her to me. What does she look like?" Travis thought for a moment. "She's got kind of shortish hair, right? Brown hair. She's white, pretty, kind of sophisticated looking." Taylor nodded slowly. "Okay. And who was the woman you complimented about, Barbie?" "Greta Gerwig," Travis said, now completely confused about where this was going. "The woman in that video you just showed me." "Travis," Taylor said, and now she was definitely trying not to laugh. "That's not Greta Gerwig." The world stopped. Travis stared at Taylor, then at the phone, then back at Taylor. "What do you mean that's not Greta Gerwig? I spent half the night watching her and Hugh Grant dance together. I told her how much I love Barbie. I made the kin joke. If that's not Greta, then who the hell is it?" Taylor couldn't hold it in anymore. She started laughing. The kind of deep, full-body laughter that made her eyes water. "Travis," she managed to say between laughs, "that's Anna Eberstein, Hugh Grant's wife." The color drained from Travis's face. "What? You walked up to Hugh Grant's wife, told her you loved the movie she directed, even though she didn't direct it, made a kin joke, and then spent the rest of the night thinking she and Hugh seemed like soulmates." "Oh my God," Travis said, his hands covering his face. "Oh my God, Taylor, are you serious right now?" "I'm so serious," Taylor said, still laughing. "And the reason she was so polite and didn't say anything is probably because she didn't want to embarrass you by correcting you. So I complimented a random woman for directing a movie she had nothing to do with." "Not a random woman," Taylor corrected. "Hugh Grant's wife, who was standing right next to Hugh Grant when you did it. That's why he was looking at me like that." Travis groaned. "He was trying not to laugh at me." "Oh, he was definitely trying not to laugh at you." Travis was mortified. Completely, utterly mortified. "Taylor, I can never show my face at another one of your concerts. How am I supposed to recover from this? But Taylor was crying with laughter now, wiping tears from her eyes. Baby, this is the funniest thing that's ever happened. Do you understand how funny this is? It's not funny, Travis protested, though he was starting to smile despite himself. I made a complete fool of myself. You did, Taylor agreed, but in the most adorable way possible. And honestly, at least you recognized true love when you saw it. You were right about them being soulmates. They are married. Where was the actual Greta Gerwig? Travis asked, still processing. She was there, Taylor said, scrolling through more photos. She was actually on the other side of the tent most of the night, wearing a red dress. See, she showed him a photo. Travis looked at the photo of the actual Greta Gerwig, who looked nothing like Anna Eberstein, except for both being white women with brownish hair. I have face blindness, Travis declared. That's the only explanation. I have a medical condition. You don't have face blindness, Taylor said, kissing his cheek. You just got excited and didn't double-check who you were talking to. But I was so confident, Travis said. I walked right up to her like I knew exactly who she was. That's the Travis Kelce way, Taylor teased. Maximum confidence even when you're completely wrong. Despite his embarrassment, Travis started laughing, too. Because really, what else could he do? The situation was objectively hilarious. Please tell me Hugh Grant's wife isn't going to tell this story to anyone, Travis said hopefully. Taylor gave him a sympathetic look. Baby, Hugh Grant is definitely telling this story. This is too good not to tell. Travis groaned again. I'm never living this down. Nope, Taylor agreed cheerfully. This is going into the family history. This is what we're telling our grandkids. What do you think about this hilarious mix-up? Have you ever confidently done something completely wrong? Drop a comment below sharing your most embarrassing moment, because sometimes the best stories come from our biggest mistakes. And if this made you laugh, hit that like button and subscribe for more untold stories about your favorite celebrities. 3 months later, Travis Kelce was doing a press conference when a reporter asked him about the best moment from attending the tour. Travis grinned. Well, let me tell you about the time I thought I met Greta Gerwig. The story went viral all over again. Hugh Grant even responded on Twitter. For the record, my wife Anna is lovely, but she definitely didn't direct Barbie, though I think she could if she wanted to. At Kelce, no hard feelings made. Anna Eberstein gave her own interview a few weeks later where she laughingly confirmed the story. He was so sweet and so genuine about loving the film. I didn't have the heart to correct him in the moment. I just smiled and said, thank you. My husband was trying so hard not to crack up next to me. When Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce eventually did their joint interview on a late-night talk show, the host obviously brought it up. In my defense, Travis said, the tent was dark, everyone was dancing, and I'd had a few drinks. But yeah, I definitely complimented the wrong person for directing one of my favorite movies. The best part, Taylor added, was him telling me afterward that he thought Greta and Hugh Grant were soulmates based on how they danced together all night. They are soulmates, Travis protested. I wasn't wrong about that part. They're married. The audience roared with laughter. Taylor reached over and squeezed his hand. You weren't wrong about recognizing true love when you saw it. You just got the wrong names. And that ultimately became the lesson of the story. Travis Kelce might have confused Hugh Grant's wife for an Oscar-nominated director, but he correctly identified two people who were completely in love with each other. And really, isn't that what matters? Well, that in the fact that Travis triple checks who someone is before complimenting their work now. So what's the moral here? Does Travis deserve a medal for surviving this embarrassment? Or should we all learn a double check before confidently walking up to people at celebrity events? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to hear about your face blindness moments, too. And if you made it this far and enjoyed this story about celebrity mix-ups and adorable mistakes, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear that even NFL superstars have embarrassing moments. Because sometimes the most memorable nights are the ones where everything goes hilariously wrong. The real Greta Gerwig, for what it's worth, did eventually meet Travis Kelce at another event 6 months later. Her first words to him were, I heard you're a big fan of my work. Travis, who had been coached extensively by Taylor on what Greta actually looked like, laughed and said, I am, and I promise this time I actually know who you are. Good, Greta said with a smile. Because I'd hate for you to compliment me and then find out later you were talking to someone else. They both cracked up and Travis learned an important lesson about fame, recognition, And always making sure you know who you're talking to before you open your mouth. But the story lives on. At Travis and Taylor's engagement party a year later, Jason Kelce made sure to include it in his toast. To my brother, who taught us all that confidence is great, but maybe double-check faces first. And somewhere in London, Hugh Grant and Anna Eberstein were probably laughing about it, too. Because really, it's the kind of story that gets funnier every time you tell it. Warning, this story combines real talk show interview details.